Imagine waking up in the middle of the night, staring at the ceiling, heart racing, legs restless, and knowing that no matter how hard you try, sleep will not return easily. For many seniors over 55, this is not a rare occurrence, it's a nightly reality. What if I told you that the very thing most people drink before bed, plain water, could be sabotaging your sleep without you even realizing it? It sounds counterintuitive, doesn't it? Water is supposed to be good for us, essential for life, yet in this case, it can actually trigger a cascade of restless nights and groggy mornings. But there's hope. A simple, natural alternative exists. Something you can drink before bed that calms your body, balances your hormones, and lets you sink into deep, restorative sleep. And this isn't just about rest. It's about protecting your brain, your heart, your metabolism, and your overall vitality. Sleep is not a luxury. It's the foundation of every system in your body. And the way you nourish yourself in the hours before sleep determines how well that foundation holds. Many seniors wake up at precisely the same hours night after night, 2 a.m., 3 a.m., sometimes even closer to dawn, and find it nearly impossible to drift back into sleep. This condition, called sleep fragmentation, is often caused by nocturia, or frequent urination at night. You might think this is just a normal part of aging, but the science tells a different story. Your body produces a hormone called vasopressin that tells your kidneys to conserve water during the night, allowing you to sleep uninterrupted. However, as we age, vasopressin levels drop. Without it, the kidneys continue to filter water at the same pace as daytime, sending more fluid to the bladder and triggering those urgent bathroom trips. Pair that with the habit of drinking a full glass of water just before bed, and you've created the perfect storm for disrupted sleep. It may not be obvious at first. You might think, but isn't water healthy? Doesn't it support my body? Yes, water is essential, but timing is everything. Drinking right before bed leaves your bladder full, and when combined with reduced elasticity and hormonal changes that come with age, it results in repeated awakenings. Picture a 70-year-old man who loves staying hydrated. He drinks a glass of water before bed and feels virtuous about his routine. 2 hours later, he wakes urgently, trudges to the bathroom, and lies back down only to face a racing mind. Tossing and turning, sleep slips further away. By morning, his body aches, his mind is foggy, and his energy is gone. Multiply this scenario by months and years, and the damage extends far beyond inconvenience. Sleep deprivation begins to erode memory, immunity, blood pressure, and even cardiovascular health. It's not just the bladder at fault. Each nighttime awakening steals critical minutes from deep sleep, the phase when memory consolidates, the brain detoxifies, and tissues repair themselves. Seniors naturally spend less time in deep sleep due to age-related changes, so even small interruptions can have outsized effects. Within a week of fragmented sleep, the body's stress hormones rise, insulin sensitivity drops, and cognitive functions falter. Mood swings, irritability, and fatigue become inevitable. The vicious cycle continues. The less you sleep, the more your body struggles, and the harder it becomes to recover. But there is a solution that doesn't involve expensive medications, complicated treatments, or drastic lifestyle changes. The secret lies in what you drink before bed. A carefully chosen beverage, rich in nutrients to support your nervous system, can reduce nighttime awakenings, calm your mind, and allow your body to stay in restorative sleep cycles. Take magnesium, for example, a mineral often called nature's relaxant. It soothes the nervous system, relaxes muscles, and helps regulate stress hormones like cortisol. For seniors who often have magnesium deficiencies due to diet, age, or medications, a magnesium-rich bedtime drink can make the difference between tossing and turning all night or slipping into a peaceful, uninterrupted sleep. Consider warm milk, a traditional remedy with a powerful scientific rationale. Milk contains magnesium, calcium, and tryptophan, an amino acid that helps your brain produce serotonin and melatonin. When consumed warm, it signals the body to relax, creating the perfect internal environment for sleep. Almond milk is an excellent alternative for those who are dairy sensitive, naturally rich in magnesium, and easily digestible. Add a touch of nutmeg or cinnamon, and the combination works synergistically to calm the nervous system and improve sleep quality. Over time, this nightly ritual trains the brain to associate the warmth and flavor with rest, reinforcing circadian rhythms and boosting melatonin production naturally. Let's delve deeper into why this works. Sleep is the time when the body's glymphatic system, essentially the brain's cleaning crew, activates. This system flushes out toxins, including beta amyloid proteins linked to Alzheimer's, which accumulate during waking hours. Deep, uninterrupted sleep is essential for this detox process. Every disruption like waking to use the bathroom cuts the cleaning short, leaving the brain with residual waste that can impair memory, focus, and cognition. Seniors who wake multiple times per night, particularly from drinking water too late, risk accelerating cognitive decline. But a simple switch to a sleep-supportive drink allows the brain to remain in deep sleep longer, maximizing detoxification and preserving memory. Beyond brain health, the benefits extend to metabolism. Fragmented sleep disrupts hormone balance, including leptin and ghrelin, which regulate hunger and satiety. Poor sleep also increases cortisol, interferes with insulin sensitivity, and can lead to weight gain, particularly around the midsection. For older adults, these metabolic disruptions increase the risk of diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and general fatigue. By choosing a drink like tart, cherry juice, warm golden milk, or chamomile tea, seniors not only avoid the bladder-filling effects of water, but also gain compounds that improve sleep duration, stabilize blood sugar, and reduce inflammation. A small glass of tart cherry juice before bed, for instance, provides natural melatonin and antioxidants that support both sleep and glucose metabolism. Within weeks, many seniors report sleeping longer, waking more refreshed, and feeling steadier energy throughout the day. The impact is both immediate and profound. Imagine a senior with borderline diabetes who routinely wakes up multiple times each night. By replacing bedtime water with a nutrient-rich beverage, they not only reduce awakenings, but also improve overnight blood sugar regulation. Their mornings arrive with clarity instead of grogginess, and their mood stabilizes as deep sleep restores hormonal balance. Even simple changes, like sipping chamomile tea or a small cup of warm almond milk, initiate a cascade of restorative effects throughout the body, supporting sleep, metabolism, brain function, and emotional health. Ritual plays a powerful role in this transformation. The act of preparing a warm, calming drink sends signals to the nervous system that it's time to relax. Over time, the body learns to associate the taste, smell, and warmth with sleep, creating a mental and physiological cue that enhances circadian rhythm. Seniors who adopt such a ritual experience a sense of control over their sleep that has been missing for years. Imagine dimmed lights, soft music, and the gentle ritual of sipping a warm, magnesium-rich beverage. Within days, the mind begins to unwind, cortisol levels drop, and deep sleep stages become easier to reach. Nights that once felt endless and restless are now filled with sustained rest. But what about melatonin itself? Often touted as the ultimate sleep solution. Supplements can help reset circadian rhythms in specific situations, yet synthetic melatonin often fails to address age-related sleep issues and can even disrupt natural hormone cycles, causing next morning grogginess. Instead, supporting the body's natural melatonin production through foods and drinks like tart cherries, kiwi, or chamomile tea provides a safer, more holistic approach. These natural interventions deliver melatonin or melatonin-mimicking compounds in a form your body recognizes, promoting deeper, longer, and more restorative sleep without side effects. Consider the story of a 70-year-old woman who had long depended on over-the-counter sleep aids, waking at 3 a.m. night after night. After replacing her bedtime water with warm milk infused with cinnamon and a spoonful of tart cherry concentrate, she began sleeping longer, waking less frequently, and regaining energy and mental clarity. Her nightly ritual became more than just a drink. It became a cornerstone of health, supporting both her body and mind. Every sip helped her reclaim control over her sleep, reset her natural circadian rhythms, and enhance brain detoxification, memory consolidation, and emotional stability. This is where magnesium's role becomes even more critical. Many seniors experience restless legs, cramps, or muscle tension at night directly linked to magnesium deficiency. Magnesium relaxes muscles, calms nerves, and regulates stress hormones, creating the perfect internal environment for uninterrupted sleep. Without it, nerves fire excessively, muscles twitch, and cortisol remains high, making sleep difficult or impossible. Warm almond milk or milk enriched with magnesium not only addresses deficiencies, but also delivers calming nutrients that synergize with natural sleep-supportive compounds, creating a restorative effect far beyond what plain water could ever achieve. The ritualistic aspect compounds the benefits. The simple act of preparing a magnesium-rich drink becomes a signal to the brain, strengthening the association between nightfall and rest. Over time, circadian rhythms normalize, melatonin release is optimized, and stress responses diminish. Seniors report calmer minds, relaxed bodies, fewer awakenings, and mornings that feel energized and focused. This is not just hydration, it's a nightly ceremony of repair, restoration, and empowerment. And yet, this is just the beginning. What starts as a simple switch in bedtime beverage transforms into a holistic improvement in health, from metabolism and immunity to cognitive function and emotional well-being. Imagine seniors who once relied on naps, caffeine, or supplements, now waking refreshed, alert, and energized. The domino effect is extraordinary. Better sleep enhances cellular repair, optimizes hormone balance, boosts mental clarity, stabilizes blood sugar, and strengthens heart function. The body begins to function in a harmonious rhythm, and small nightly rituals become the gateway to profound rejuvenation. The truth is, for seniors, sleep is no longer just rest. It is survival, vitality, and protection. Every choice, every sip before bed influences whether the brain detoxifies, whether the body balances hormones, and whether the nervous system calms sufficiently for deep, restorative rest. A simple adjustment in what you drink at night can ripple across every aspect of your health, creating lasting improvements that far surpass anything achieved with plain water or synthetic sleep aids. And now, after understanding the profound impact of magnesium, melatonin-supporting foods, and sleep-friendly rituals, we are only halfway to revealing the most effective, science-backed bedtime drinks that can transform not just your nights, but your entire life. But before we get there, there's another crucial piece of the puzzle, one that ties together metabolism, heart health, and cellular repair in ways you may never have imagined. And it all starts with a small, simple shift that you can implement tonight. Now, imagine for a moment what happens inside the body when seniors continue drinking plain water before bed, night after night, thinking it's harmless. Each trip to the bathroom doesn't just interrupt sleep, it triggers a cascade of hormonal and metabolic consequences. Cortisol spikes with every awakening, the stress hormone surging in response to disruption, leaving the nervous system tense and alert. Your body, craving rest, receives the opposite signal. Heart rate climbs slightly, muscles tighten, and the mind begins racing with fragments of unfinished thoughts. Over time, this nightly pattern accumulates, not just robbing energy the next day, but accelerating cellular aging. And here's the insidious part. Seniors often blame themselves, feeling weaker or more forgetful, unaware that the simple timing of their water intake is at the root of these disruptions. But the solution isn't complex, it's elegant, natural, and surprisingly effective. A small glass of magnesium-rich warm almond milk, perhaps with a dash of cinnamon or nutmeg, taken 30 minutes before sleep, sets off a sequence of restorative processes. Magnesium soothes the nervous system, acting like a gentle hand telling overactive neurons it's okay to relax. Muscles release tension, cramps and twitching diminish, and cortisol levels begin to settle, signaling the body that it's safe to drift into the deep sleep it desperately needs. Unlike a pharmaceutical sleep aid that forces the brain into artificial drowsiness, this ritual works with the body's innate rhythms, allowing melatonin to be naturally produced at the right time and in the right amount. What happens next is profound. The sleep cycle deepens, restorative stages lengthen, and the body begins repairing itself at the cellular level, enhancing tissue recovery, immune function, and even metabolic regulation. Consider memory and cognition. Deep sleep isn't just about rest. It's when the brain's glymphatic system, its own nightly cleaning crew, activates. Cerebrospinal fluid flows through channels in the brain, clearing away toxic proteins like beta amyloid that are linked to Alzheimer's. Every interrupted awakening leaves part of this cleanup incomplete, leaving harmful debris to accumulate silently. Over months and years, seniors who repeatedly wake to urinate risk accelerating cognitive decline. Yet, when the bedtime routine is shifted to include a sleep-supportive drink, the brain remains undisturbed, allowing this critical cleansing process to occur uninterrupted. Suddenly, memory sharpens, recall improves, and mental clarity returns not through drugs, but through a simple, intentional choice. Now, let's explore another example. Tart cherry juice. For seniors wary of dairy, this nutrient-packed drink provides melatonin naturally, helping regulate the sleep-wake cycle. Beyond sleep, the antioxidants in tart cherries fight inflammation, protect the cardiovascular system, and even improve glucose metabolism. Imagine a senior with prediabetes, struggling with both energy and sleep. Swapping bedtime water for a small glass of tart cherry juice doesn't just reduce bathroom trips, it stabilizes blood sugar overnight, preventing the energy crashes and sugar cravings that so often follow fragmented sleep. What begins as a simple beverage choice transforms into a multi-system health intervention. The heart beats easier, the brain clears itself, and the metabolism remains balanced. It's not only about drinks, though. The ritual surrounding consumption amplifies the effects. Dim lights, gentle music, and a mindful moment while preparing the drink signal the body to transition from alertness to rest. The brain learns that this sequence equals sleep, enhancing circadian rhythm alignment. Over time, the body anticipates rest, and sleep onset becomes faster, deeper, and more restorative. Seniors who embrace this nightly ritual often report a shift in their entire day. Morning grogginess fades, mood stabilizes, and energy remains steady throughout the afternoon. The nervous system, previously in a constant state of tension, begins to relax more fully each night, reinforcing resilience against daily stressors. But what about emotional health? Many seniors experience anxiety, loneliness, or low mood, which further disrupts sleep. A ritualized sleep-supportive drink can act as a bridge to emotional calm. For instance, lavender tea or chamomile, sipped slowly, has a gentle sedative effect without dependency. The aroma, warmth, and ritual itself engage the parasympathetic nervous system, reducing stress, soothing the heart, and creating a sense of well-being. Seniors who incorporate these rituals often notice improvements in emotional regulation, feeling less irritable, less anxious, and more patient alongside better sleep. The synergy is remarkable. Mind, body, and spirit all benefit from a single intentional nightly habit. As we dive deeper, let's examine how disrupted sleep accelerates metabolic dysfunction in older adults. Sleep fragmentation leads to insulin resistance, increases appetite, and disrupts hormone balance. Leptin decreases, ghrelin increases, and energy crashes during the day become inevitable. A senior who wakes multiple times nightly after drinking plain water faces not only fatigue, but also weight gain, blood sugar spikes, and an increased risk for type 2 diabetes. Yet, by adopting a sleep-supportive drink, magnesium or tart cherry enriched, the body experiences fewer awakenings, better hormone regulation, and improved insulin sensitivity overnight. The result is a ripple effect. Better sleep leads to better metabolic control, which in turn supports sustained energy, cognitive function, and cardiovascular health. Even beyond metabolism, the long-term protective benefits are striking. Deep sleep stimulates growth hormone release, crucial for tissue repair, immune function, and muscle maintenance. Seniors who continuously fragment their sleep miss these restorative surges, contributing to slower healing, weaker immunity, and increased frailty. With a simple adjustment switching from water to a magnesium-rich or melatonin-supportive drink, these natural repair processes are restored. Over time, this leads to improved resilience, reduced inflammation, and a visible enhancement in vitality that compounds day after day. Yet, here's the twist most people don't realize. The impact of this change isn't just physical. It fundamentally rewires the relationship seniors have with their own sleep. Where nights were once stressful, filled with repeated awakenings and worry about falling behind on rest, they now become predictable, calm, and restorative. A small glass of tart, cherry juice, warm almond milk, or chamomile tea becomes more than a drink. It's a ritual that restores agency, giving seniors the feeling that sleep is something they can control rather than a force that controls them. And just as we've seen, the timing of intake is everything. Drinking too late or too quickly can defeat the purpose. The magic lies in moderation, warmth, and a mindful approach. Sipping slowly, savoring the aroma, and combining it with dim lights and gentle breathing creates an environment where melatonin production, nervous system calm, and deep sleep phases align perfectly. Over weeks, the brain internalizes this rhythm, circadian cues are strengthened, and sleep becomes self-sustaining. This is not just about one night. It's a lifestyle transformation, a reset for the body's most vital functions. Now, think about the broader implications. Improved cardiovascular health, reduced cognitive decline risk, more stable metabolism, stronger immunity, better emotional resilience, and sustained energy throughout the day. All of this stems from what seems like a minor choice, what you drink before bed. It's astonishing that such a simple habit can ripple across so many aspects of senior health, and yet so few people are aware of it. And while science continues to uncover more about the mechanisms involved, the evidence already makes one thing clear. Ignoring bedtime habits can silently erode years of health, while adopting them can restore vitality, clarity, and resilience. And yet, even after all this, most seniors continue to reach for plain water before bed, unaware of the cascading consequences. But here's where the story takes an even more intriguing turn. Combining the right drink with a carefully structured nightly ritual doesn't just restore sleep, it enhances it to a level most seniors haven't experienced in decades. It taps into natural cycles of repair, detoxification, memory consolidation, and hormone regulation in ways that no single pill or supplement can replicate. The question becomes, how far can this simple habit shift extend? Could a nightly ritual and the right drink actually slow cognitive decline, protect the heart, and restore energy in ways modern medicine hasn't fully harnessed yet? And that brings us to a powerful realization. Seniors are not doomed to fragmented nights and groggy mornings. In fact, the solution has been hiding in plain sight, in the drinks and routines that work with the body rather than against it. But before we explore the final, most potent combination of drinks and rituals that can completely transform sleep, metabolism, and brain health, it's important to understand one last critical factor: how the interplay of magnesium, melatonin, and calming rituals creates a feedback loop that compounds benefits night after night. It's a loop that turns fragmented, stressful nights into a self-reinforcing cycle of deep sleep, cellular repair, and waking vitality. Now, let's dive into the science of that feedback loop and why it's so powerful for seniors. Magnesium, melatonin, and calming rituals don't just work individually, they interact synergistically to create a night of uninterrupted restorative sleep. Magnesium relaxes the nervous system and muscles, lowering cortisol and signaling the body that it's safe to rest. Melatonin, produced naturally or supported through foods like tart cherries, kiwi, or chamomile, regulates the sleep-wake cycle, ensuring that sleep stages occur at the right time. And the nightly ritual, the dimmed lights, the gentle preparation of a warm drink, the mindful pause teaches the brain to associate this sequence with deep rest. Together, they create a reinforcing cycle. The calmer the body and mind, the better the melatonin effect, the better the melatonin, the deeper the sleep, and the deeper the sleep, the more the brain and body repair, allowing the next night to start on a foundation of resilience. Consider seniors who have struggled for years with insomnia or frequent awakenings. A small but deliberate adjustment, replacing plain water with a nutrient-rich, calming drink, initiates a chain reaction. Their nervous system relaxes, sleep cycles stabilize, and nightly awakenings decrease. Over just a few weeks, these changes compound. The body's metabolism balances, glucose regulation improves, and the brain's lymphatic system has time to clear away toxic buildup. Memory sharpens, mood stabilizes, and energy returns. The difference is not just physiological, it's psychological. Seniors feel empowered, no longer at the mercy of disrupted nights. Sleep becomes predictable, restorative, and a source of daily vitality. One striking example comes from the use of chamomile tea. Chamomile contains apigenin, a compound that binds to receptors in the brain similar to prescription sleep medications, but without the risk of dependency or next-day grogginess. When sipped as part of a nightly ritual, it calms the mind, gently lowers stress hormones, and signals the body that it's time to rest. Paired with magnesium from almond milk or a sprinkle of pumpkin seeds, this combination enhances both muscle relaxation and nervous system calm. The result? Seniors report not only fewer awakenings, but also deeper, more restorative sleep phases. Nights become peaceful, mornings more energetic, and the vicious cycle of fatigue, stress, and metabolic disruption finally begins to break. Then there's tart cherry juice, a powerhouse for natural melatonin support. Studies show that older adults who drink a small glass before bed extend their total sleep time by over an hour. But it's not just the duration quality improves too. Deep sleep, where memory consolidation, tissue repair, and brain detoxification occur, increases significantly. For seniors with borderline diabetes or metabolic concerns, tart cherry juice also stabilizes overnight glucose levels, preventing spikes and crashes that lead to daytime fatigue. By choosing the right beverage, seniors simultaneously enhance sleep, protect their brain, and support metabolic health.